Hello, welcome to another Northern Tactics show. My name is Jim, and today I'm with Jason Steed, and the executive director of the company Games Workshop. Jason, how are you?
I'm fine.
Can you explain to the audience what Games Workshop is?
Well, some would say it's a company that produces plastic miniatures and hobby supplies with a rule set to accompany them. We also produce an IP that acts as a context and background for the games to be played in, as well as using said IP to create a library of fiction presented across multiple media platforms. We
Mm-hmm,
sell dreams.
I see. Well, I've heard that you paint these little models as well. It sounds like a nice hobby, to be honest. I can see why it became so popular during the lockdown.
Oh, it's more of an abusive relationship than a hobby. We've built a very successful model that incorporates not only the casino classification of our customers, but we also thought we could get the addiction and punishment aspect in as well.
Uh, how so?
Well, proven studies show that gamblers get the most excited when they actually lose. It's the motivation that makes them endlessly try. For the casinos, it's an endless flow of money. We thought, hey, our hobby is pretty fun, so if we tweak our sales strategies, we might be able to make the whales spend a lot of money on our products.
You're of course referring to the fear of missing out tactic, also known as FOMO, that have been used for the past few years. I'm sure too many of the fans of the hobby would not describe these methods as fun. In fact, some describe the Games Workshop Wales as a community that contains many vulnerable people who are easily manipulated into overspending, and that these tactics prey on that. It's also further reinforced with validation, as store staff shower these individuals with attention and learn the personal aspects of their lives in order to get to know them at a somewhat personal level. These are very manipulative tactics that not only take advantage of addictive spending but also create an enabling network, which results in creating a codependent relationship between the collector and the hobby. This seems very predatory.
Whales, as you say it, are the die-hard fans that carry this hobby. We care very deeply for our pay pigs, collectors, and we've created a business model that allows us to offer a discount from time to time as part of exclusive deals. Those collectors that take it up get early access to codices, models, data cards, all at a discount, and in convenient sets at that.
That's somewhat disingenuous though, isn't it? First of all, the set discount value. This is measured against the current pricing of the rest of the range. A discount of what is already incredibly overexpensive can still leave a price that is quite frankly overly expensive.
But they get exclusive miniatures that won't be available for months, or a codex that won't be available for months. So that can give people a boost in tournaments, as physical books are required for play.
You claim to care about the hobby, but isn't that a pay to win aspect?
Look, the competitive scene is a great aspect of the hobby, as it encourages casual hobbyists to purchase 2,000 points armies as standards. The whales who buy our FOMO box sets should get an advantage. Besides, this hobby gives a hobbyist hundreds of hours of activity, painting, building and playing on the tabletop. I think 500 to 600 pounds is worth that over a PlayStation with games, don't you?
No. Firstly, video games go down in price and can be purchased at half price or below eventually. Secondly, they don't go up in price except in very rare cases, as they stay on the shelf longer. And thirdly, PlayStation 5, for example, makes about £10 profit at £450 as they cost a lot to produce, in comparison to your models where the box costs more than the plastic inside. And fourthly, the seasonal aspect you're introducing will have a recurring demand of new books, with the impression these books are needed to stay up to date within the rules.
We sell luxury products that make the lives of vulnerable people better. The hobby was there during the pandemic to help people cope with the lockdown.
But you raised the prices during the lockdown, quite early on into it actually, and several times more since then.
No, why wouldn't we? Everyone was locked in their houses, the whales may have been stressed out and prone to retail therapy. Of course we're going to squeeze them for more money. There was high demand.
You don't think it was cynical in nature to do it during the lockdown though? When thousands of people were on furlough?
Of course not. It was a happy time. A lot of people wanted to buy models. We also stopped restocking, so it created a shortage to really hit the sales home. Honestly, it was the best thing to happen to us since the day we figured out we could not only raise prices but cut box contents by 50% simultaneously along with it.
You don't think this shows contempt for your customer base?
Of course it doesn't. If people are willing to pay these prices, we may as well indulge them. One of our core customer bases from the 90s who paid £10 for a Space Marine Tactical Squad, well, year by year they got older. And as they hit certain ages, their wage potential increased, so we knew they could afford more. Once yearly price rises that were higher than inflation became normalized within the community, and we knew that we could get away with them, we could then start cutting contents in the army sets.
It was recently published in the Telegraph that your shares are falling, or were at the time of the article being published. With this product line's popularity internationally, would it not make sense to lower the prices, or at the very least keep the prices reasonable? Australian prices, for example, don't seem to be congruent to make Warhammer a major export for the UK.
Of course it's not bloody congruent with it. Significantly less people in Australia buy Warhammer than in, say, the US, so we have to charge them more in order to pick up the slack. Also, I've heard the rumours about Forge World as well, and guess what? If it's cheaper for an Australian to fly to the UK and buy a Titan from the Forge World store there, then that's more money in the British economy.
A lot of the YouTube community are claiming you're wanting to get out of wargaming miniature industry with the making of articulated figures, plush toys and Funko Pops.
Of course we bloody aren't. We're the biggest wargaming company around. Most wargamers collect our stuff as their primary interest or alongside another game. The products you've mentioned are a big part of the pop culture of normal people who bathe and have lives. Contrary to the neckbeard's belief, the majority of the human race don't sit in Warhammer stores all day mooching the paints. Having these items appear in supermarkets, comic shops or discount shops, etc. will raise awareness of the brand and might attract more customers when this crap appears in bargain bins. It's one of the smarter things we've done.
Going back to the price rises, the most recent that could see certain models going up to 20%, the price rise comes in the wake of a 40% increase in profits in the space of the year 2020 to 2021. Of course, your 2020 profits were at 26% and 2021 at 35%, obtaining 71 million in profits. Are these price increases truly justified by increases of energy, Brexit, and the other factors you've mentioned?
Hey, politicians get to take advantage of these things and so do we. Plus it's enough for the shills and the fanboys to believe, so they keep on buying. Let the good times and the dice roll, as long as the introduction games are only played in our stores.
Wow. Okay, this was certainly illuminating. Jason, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to speaking to you in the future interview.
Thank you.